Live? Let us know in chat. 6 people waiting. You're live. There we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I think we're live.
Welcome everyone to the live stream. Obviously a
Yes, we are live. Awesome. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Obviously a monumental day for Bitcoin, moving above the 50k. In this live stream, I think we're going to be looking at where we think Bitcoin's going to be headed.
Where we are likely to end up over the next few days. Welcome everyone to the live streams. Welcome, welcome. We have Jamie Tree and we have ShizoCrypto duetting on the stream today. Huge day for crypto holders everywhere. Congratulations to all the long-term believers and all the holders. I don't know about you, Grant, but I feel kind of numb to the $50,000. It's such a huge number, but I think it was such a foregone conclusion that I don't know. I'm numb to the price action of Bitcoin at this point.
I think that's just because every time we hit these numbers, we tend to see a giant drop down. So
yeah, true.
It's a little bit. 50k is sometimes more scary than euphoric at times.
Yeah, definitely.
Unless you're looking to buy and then trade as soon as it comes in. But yeah, obviously a extremely monumental day for Bitcoin and cryptos.
Yeah, definitely. Welcome everyone to the live stream. Let us know how the audio is. We set up a new mic, and we want to know how the audio quality is.
Yeah, see if it's working.
Yeah, if it's working okay, if we have good audio. Let us know. Welcome everyone. A momentous day for crypto holders everywhere. Huge, 50k. And we've broken through it aggressively at this point. I don't even want to call. When did we first break through? Was it 24 hours ago?
Yeah, it was 24 hours ago.
24 hours ago. And I think we broke through for like a minute and then pulled back down.
And then pulled back down, yeah.
Pulled back down, yeah.
Yeah. We are seeing, this is the most bullish uptrend I've ever seen, the most healthy uptrend. We didn't just skyrocket out of nowhere and then fall straight back down.
Yep.
Skyrocketed, fall down, built some higher lows and made some support on our way all the way up to 50k. The first time we hit 50k, I was a bit, is this gonna stay? Is this gonna stick? And then we fell back down, and I thought, this could be another retracement. But then as soon as we bounce back up off that resistance level, off that support level of the uptrend of the lows, I thought it was the moon. The moon's the next destination. So
awesome, perfect. Welcome XZK and U1 Woot Nanny. Sounds good. Awesome. Thank you for letting us know. Yeah, we put in a new mic, so just want to know how the quality is. But it looks all good. Yeah, you make a good point. This is an incredibly healthy looking price action, an incredibly healthy looking graph. Like you said, it's almost unlike cryptocurrency to see such not some crazy some absolute crazy volatile moves, like ripping to the upside and then falling back down and then getting rejected and then falling off a cliff. As Grant said, we're seeing higher highs and lower lows. We're seeing nice contractions across the board.
High highs and high lows.
What did I say? Lower highs and high. What did I say?
Highs and high lows.
High lows.
Higher highs and lower lows.
Higher highs and lower.
Okay, now I'm confused.
Wait, no, we saw higher highs. This is what we're seeing. We're seeing higher highs and we're seeing high lows, yes, which is what you want to be seeing. Yeah, very healthy price action. We have very handsomely broken through 50k, and honestly, the sky's the limit at this point. This is huge.
Yeah, we're moving more short than longs. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I mean, yeah, but I think it's just upwards. I think breaking through such a psychological barrier,
and then staying there for longer than an hour is extremely bullish. I think 100%. We'll stay above 50k now. If we do drop back down, I think that we'll be buying back up. I think it'll get bought back up, and then we'll just keep using 50k as a level of support. We're moving up this channel, as you can see, between a resistance level at the top and a support level at the bottom. We're moving up this channel into the uptrend. It would make sense to hit 50k again and then use it as support, or kind of bounce around 50k for a few candles and then keep moving up.
Yeah.
That's what I reckon will happen. I don't think we're going to see another giant correction like we saw at the 40k level.
This was before the 50k breakout. Yeah, I think that might change the more shorts than longs. It was probably a good idea. Like, look how many times we got rejected right at the 50k level. So I'm not surprised that there were more shorts than longs on 50k. And then immediately, yeah, now that we're broken out, the sky's the limit. This almost feels surreal. I don't know about everyone in chat, but looking at this is like at the end of last year, Bitcoin was what, 22k, and it's 50k now. I don't know. It feels it's a cool feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely agreed. 50k support does seem good though. Yep.
It does seem very good. Yeah. Mitchell Walker, great to have you back on the live stream. It's good to have you show up. Awesome.
Super active on our live stream.
Awesome. Yeah, I don't know. It's such a surreal feeling. It almost feels expected because like when you're in the crypto space, you're consuming so much content. You're hearing all these moonshots of 6-figure Bitcoin, of $1 million Bitcoin, of $5 million Bitcoin. So yeah, it almost seemed like a foregone conclusion, especially if you're in the space and consuming all this content. But yeah, it's huge, and it's good to just take a step back and just congratulations to everyone holding, everyone with the conviction. If you've been a long-term holder, if you just got in, everyone will be in profit at this point. So yeah, congratulations. Pat yourself on the back, because it's huge.
I think everyone has made money right now on Bitcoin who's ever bought Bitcoin.
Exactly, which is insane.
A minuscule fraction. Look at the tiny wick of that candle on that most recent candle. Like, that's tiny.
If anyone bought
so small.
51,600, yeah.
Guys, we've all made money.
Yeah, we've all made money. Pat yourself on the back. Like, feels dreamy, 100%. That's exactly what the point I'm trying to get at. It feels very dreamy.
Best is yet to come, yep.
And 100%, the best is yet to come. I've been saying this to Grant over and over. As soon as we constructively break through that 50k barrier, like what's the next big psychological area of resistance? 100k? I think it's blue skies. I think it's all blue skies from here. Like obviously there's going to be some bumps on the way. Obviously we can expect some 20 to 30% pullbacks as you can in cryptocurrencies, but like 50k is such a huge psychological point of resistance that, yeah.
Let's see where the 30-day moving average is, because historically that's the point where wherever we see big retracements that we fall back to. The 30-day moving average, change to 1 day, and let's chuck that in. Let's see the bottom level that we would have had to buy that in order to be 530.
And yeah, it's super healthy just watching it sit above. I'm just going to go into the...
Our 30-day moving average is currently at 38k. That's awesome. That is so insane.
At 38k, that is mental. So
1 month moving average, it's at 38k, 39k.
And going to very soon break through 40k in the next day.
If that breaks through 40k, I reckon I can say with a lot of confidence that we won't drop back down below 40k. Potentially ever. Honestly, yeah, like that is the most mental thing behind this. Now that we're seeing this institutional interest in buying, in we're just
loading up,
keep moving up, and the moving averages are already at 40.
100%.
So, yeah.
Oh yeah, words of advice: if you don't have much cash in crypto, don't overtrade. Gas fees will kill you. Pick a lane and stick to it. 100%. You raise a really good point, and we were trading stocks and equities for about 5 years before we touched cryptos like at all in seriousness. And the exact same thing. So in Australia, depending on what brokerage you use, you get absolutely destroyed every time you either buy or sell. And the same thing's happening, especially if you use an exchange. What was the one you were using? Was it Uniswap?
Oh, DEX.
A DEX? And was that the one that the gas fees were just absolutely slaughtering you, just buying and selling like through brokerage? Yeah. Yeah, 100%. If you're not doing bigger or like large volume, like large percentage trades, the gas fees will kill you, and it'll take a significant percentage out of.
If you leave it in an exchange, you just pay that 0.1%. But yeah, if you're using some decentralized swaps and swapping between Ethereum networks, then 100% the gas fees will kill you.
Yeah.
If you're trading at that kind of volume, just use an exchange though, and the gas fees are really predictable, and they won't bounce around like we've seen recently. Historically, as we know, when Bitcoin kind of reaches these sort of numbers, it starts to consolidate, which I believe it will happen. I think Bitcoin will start to consolidate around bouncing between, I'd say, probably 52.5 and 50K. We'll see it moving around these kind of zones, consolidate for a bit, and then we'll see all the money flow back into the altcoins. We'll see the $1 Cardano we've been waiting for. We'll see the 20 cents Zilliqa me and Jamie have long been waiting for. In my wife's best friend now.
I'm my wife's best friend. Lol, can you say Louis Vuitton?
Why do we need to say
Louis Vuitton? I'm my wife's best friend. I assume you invested some money of hers into Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, and you're being paid handsomely now.
Okay, I read that as I'm in my best friend's wife right now. I don't know why my mind just swapped that sentence around.
I love it. Everyone that's new in chat, let us know what cryptocurrencies you're holding, what altcoins you're holding. We love to see what our viewers' portfolio allocations are and talk about it a bit. But I kind of want to talk about what he brought up is, have you guys, for the people that are in Bitcoin, that have bought into Ethereum, that have bought into cryptocurrencies, have you told your families about what you've been buying? Have you told your friends? If you have a significant other, have you told your significant other? Have you told your significant other about trading? Have you got them into buying cryptocurrencies? Let us know, because it's an interesting issue. It's a very interesting, like, I don't know. You were telling me that you bought some Bitcoin for your mum the other day. But it's an interesting dynamic, because if it goes up, I feel like whoever you told about buying Bitcoin or whatever cryptocurrency, they'll think it was because of themselves. Whereas if it goes down, you just get heaped on the blame.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Agree, yeah.
Right. So it's a risky
That's
game.
Why I don't advise anyone to buy or sell any crypto at any point. But I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
You're always in the wrong no matter what you do with crypto financial advice.
100%. Yeah. In terms of crypto financial advice, especially with people that are close to you, so family, family, friends, significant others, is an interesting one.
What's good, you boys? Kiwi? No, we are from Sydney, Australia.
We're from Sydney, Australia. Liam Gilchrist, are you a Kiwi? Are you from Australia as well?
Hey guys, what's up? Good to see Bitcoin holding up. Yes, LCS top 5.
LCS top 5, 100%. Very, very encouraging price action. We broke through with some conviction. We're sitting nicely above 50K. And I was just saying earlier, like, it almost feels like a dream. Like, when you're in the space and you're hearing all this stuff, it's like it felt like a foregone conclusion that would see it over 50K, but actually seeing it there after holding Bitcoin for so long and believing in it for so long, it's a good time to step back and just I don't know, appreciate the moment of 50K. It's such a big number.
Guys, go subscribe to LCS Top 5. He makes awesome league videos. I follow his channel and I watch his videos religiously when they come out. Chuck the light on and chuck a comment on them. Yeah.
He puts out great content, LCS Top 5, and he's a great supporter of the channel as well.
I bought AMP a few weeks ago, but mostly Bitcoin and ETH.
Nice. We are, for reference, our portfolios, we have our personal portfolios, and then we also have our small business. Our entire cash balance is also in cryptos. That reaction of being called Kiwis, my bad, boys. No,
it's not like that.
Yeah, we didn't have a bad reaction. I'm kind of half Kiwi. Both of my parents are from New Zealand, but I was born in Australia, so I would say I'm half Kiwi. So yeah, good to have you. Liam, are you a Bitcoin holder? Oh, my rents. My parents bought after constant hassling a couple months back. They're up 3 times and highly grateful. Yeah, very nice. It's lovely when the like when everything's going good, the market's in a bull cycle, everything's going up. We're seeing higher highs. When you tell your parents and your girlfriend and your close friends, but it gets a little ugly when we put in some big red candles.
A YouTube thumbnail told me that Cardano. A YouTube thumbnail, not even the video, told me that Cardano could hit 75 million X. Will this happen next week? Wait, 75 million. What,
are you? Cap? Yeah, are you referring to total market cap
is
or
26 billion right now? Do you mean 75 billion? Honestly, with Bitcoin flying up as far as it has, and you know now the money is going to flow out of Bitcoin into Ethereum and all these sort of altcoins like Cardano, Polkadot, you know, Chainlink, all these other coins, they will explode. So I don't know if it'll triple. I don't think it's going to triple in the next week. But in the next week,
yeah. So this is generally what happens with when Bitcoin goes on such a run. We see a lot of funds flow out of the altcoins and Bitcoin. Back into Bitcoin to sort of catch the gains. So we see fairly decent pullbacks on a lot of the alts. And then when we get a period of consolidation with Bitcoin, we see all of those funds flow back into the alts, and you'll see superior returns. Cardano is going to 10,000 times. Trust the thumbnails. Yeah, honestly, I think the best financial advice we could give is to just trust every thumbnail that you see across YouTube. Believe all the moonshots.
Did you see any of the reef volume issue? I did see the reef volume issue. I'm still very bullish on reef. You know, it is what it is. It sucks that it affected the price, but honestly, the whole market went down at the same time, so it's hard to say whether it really was.
Yeah, wait, so what happened with so we have Reef, so let me just break it down for all the new people in the chat. I'm not 100% of your portfolio, but I'll break down my portfolio and our small business crypto portfolio. We are currently, these are all rough sort of numbers, but 75% Bitcoin, we're about 15% Ethereum, and then we are... No, it's lower than that. It's about 60% Bitcoin, 15% Ethereum, and then the rest is split between Zilliqa and Reef. So Reef is one of our major holdings in our small business crypto portfolio. And personally, I hold, it's like 80% Bitcoin. I'm sort of more of a Bitcoin maximalist when I'm personally trading. And especially when it breaks through 50K so convincingly like it has now, I generally switch a bit more of my portfolio allocation to Bitcoin. So, yeah, so what happened with Reef?
There's a lot of stuff. There's FUD accusations. They increased the supply.
Oh, they increased the supply?
There's a few things that happened. I'm not, I don't know 100% of the details. I'm probably going to do some more research later, but
right.
Essentially, they're just getting hit by FUD, like all a
lot of FUD.
Do.
Yeah.
If you want to look at the FUD and believe it, it's true. That's fair enough. But we've seen in the past that a lot of FUD news always ends up being fake and always ends up falling through.
Honestly, yeah. So, like you could go back on the Bitcoin FUD. Like what was like Chinese New Year was going to drop it. January 1st when it's tax time in the US, that was going to drop I feel like looking at Ethereum, the CME futures when they came out, that was going to crash the Ethereum price. Like I feel like every week there's some different FUD coming out for holders, and it's just like ignore the noise. Like look at the price action, look at the zoom out, look at the bigger picture. Tesla just bought, we just saw Apple add it to Apple Pay. We have Cash App, we have Jack Dorsey, Twitter, Square, PayPal, like all this institution. Like look at the big picture and we're going up.
Telegram is AIDS. Telegram is very AIDS. The only advice...
Wait, Telegram is the WhatsApp alternative thing? That chat thing?
Discord, I don't even know why. The only advice I give is...
Yeah, the India ban, the China ban, like there's so much random FUD that comes out. It's just like, I don't know.
The only advice
Don't get scared out of your Bitcoin when there's too much good news coming out.
Yeah. Give is I buy and forget about it and just check it a few times a year and enjoy the gains and ignore or buy the dips. Yeah,
yep, Mike Smith, that's 100%
if you have some long-term holdings that you're just leaving in the bank, That's that's definitely true. You don't want to be looking at the price every 5 minutes and seeing a red candle and stressing yourself out. If Bitcoin, I'm personally have a bag of Bitcoin I'm holding for the long term. I'm going to be holding for many years to come. I do have a small portion of my portfolio of Bitcoin that I do swing trade. And that has worked out for me, but I don't ever want to be completely out of the space. So that's why I don't swing trade my entire portfolio. Yeah, definitely agree with your long-term holdings. Just buy the dips and sell, take profits at the tops.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with Mike Smith. My general strategy, I don't trade as much. You can never go wrong with buying the Apex asset and then just sitting on it and not checking it and forgetting about it. Bitcoin is the Apex asset. It's a quality asset. It's going to continue to go up. So why even spend more like brain power and like why stress yourself out by just checking the charts? Funny story about that. When we first put our entire cash balance in it into Bitcoin, this was like back in December. We saw quite a significant pullback, and I remember we were all watching the candles and just absolutely pissing our pants. Like we'd made the mistake, just stressing out. But I don't know.
Did we?
There was one dip. There was it probably wasn't even significant, but I think it maybe dipped like 10 to 15%, and we were just sawing our business cash balance just vaporize in front of our eyes, and I don't know. Everyone, you just start to buy into all the FUD. So like it happens to the best of us, especially. I don't know. I feel like if you're not over leveraged, it's not as bad, and as long as you're not checking it every minute or 2 minutes or whatnot, it's all right.
Yeah. Went in on Reef. Project looks good, and don't think it is pumped considering her promise. 100%. I think Reef still has a lot of pumping to do, especially with I believe DeFi is going to absolutely explode this year, and putting a portion of portfolio in that sector of crypto is extremely. I think is. I would personally put a little bit of my portfolio in DeFi this year because I think a lot of these DeFi projects has the potential to 10 times over the next few months. It does suck that Reef is going through this kind of FUD accusations and doing all this supply issues and stuff. But long term, I think Reef is an amazing project and has amazing potential. So. Yeah, definitely agree with you. It looks very promising to me too.
Jonathan, not sure if Bitcoin's going up or USD is going down 100%. USD shitcoin, any fiat money. That's the other thing, the huge tailwind that's happening with Bitcoin is despite all this good news with the institutions coming in, with Tesla coming in, with Apple Pay adding it, the US dollar is going to break down at 10 to 15% per year. So if Bitcoin just stayed the same, like we're going to see the Bitcoin price rise at that rate every year. So like there's too much good news and things to be positive about Bitcoin that like it's so cool to see Bitcoin comfortably above 50K and staying above 50K. But I think there's so much more. I think there is so much more this year. I think there's so much more for holders to get excited about.
Yeah. The US dollar supply is increasing by like 15% per year.
Ridiculous amount.
It was a linear scale, and then beginning of last year, it absolutely exploded. So, the US dollar, it's just supply demand. If you need to make back an average of 15% returns on each of your investments on top of the supply increasing just to not lose value on your US dollar, it doesn't make any sense to not own Bitcoin at this time, during these times.
Never thought I'd be partying at 5:12 in the morning. Lol, hello everyone, bless up. Welcome, Jtronic. Where you from? Where you from in the world that it's 5:12? And I hope you're happy waking up to this Bitcoin price. And guys, I don't want to freak you all out, but we are dipping pretty hard here. We have dipped to 51K.
You're on the 1 minute candle?
Yeah. We're putting in a huge red candle and we've dipped to 51K. I don't know if you guys maybe want to rethink your bull hypothesis, but we've dipped to 51K. I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out here.
Are you actually freaking out?
No. Like, it's just ridiculous that, like, I don't know, we're putting in red candles and we're hitting 51K. Like, this is awesome. It's so cool. It's surreal. This is so cool. Congratulations to all holders if you're holding Bitcoin. If you're not holding Bitcoin and you're somehow watching the stream from the channel, I don't know how. look into getting into Bitcoin.
When you say stay the same, do you mean 50% growth per year? Sorry, yeah. So the money supply is growing by 50% per year.
Oh, I was meaning if Bitcoin was a standard, I think what I said, if Bitcoin just stayed the same and nothing happened to it, because the US dollar is growing at 15% per year, the Bitcoin price will just naturally increase at that rate as well. What do you guys think about Dogecoin? Interesting. 01 Woot Nanny, we'll get back to your question. Dogecoin, I'm not a fan. I hate it kind of. But I don't think it's a bad idea to have between 1% to 3% of your portfolio in it, as a hedge against Elon Musk, as a hedge against the Dogecoin subreddit. If you want to hold a bit as a joke, like I like, it has its place and it does have its positives in that it gets so many new people into the market, and like it's exciting. But yeah, I'm not personally a Dogecoin fan.
Yeah, we've talked about Dogecoin in the stream a lot of times. I've been a preacher of buying Dogecoin since December, just like 1 to like 3% of your portfolio. I bought quite, maybe I think I put like 3% of my portfolio in Dogecoin earlier this year at about 0.8 cents, and that percentage, small percentage of your portfolio has the potential to explode to something like 15 or 20% of your portfolio, where you can just take those profits and shove that into Bitcoin. So you just made gains on your Bitcoin, on your like amount of Bitcoin, just by putting your money into one of these tiny coins that has, explosive potential and unpredictability that always seems to explode after a bit of consolidation, and it never really drops below its resistance levels. It kind of sits around and floats around a certain price, and then when you buy into that area, then it just explodes out of nowhere when it loses. When it gains some more interest, but then you buy back in when it loses interest, sell it when it gains all this interest again.
Yeah, like I don't know, it's cool. And I don't know how long you guys have been in the crypto game, but back in 2017, Dogecoin was doing some really cool stuff. Just the community, like they sponsored a NASCAR race, and they got so much publicity and interest in the cryptocurrency scene. And they also, I think they sponsored the Jamaican bobsled team. And so Dogecoin is a good project in that it gets so many new people and so much talk and hype around cryptocurrencies, and then maybe they come over to the more promising things and read a bit more and get into it. But yeah, look, I'm not totally against having like a bit of your portfolio in Dogecoin. And it, like, I don't know, the memes are funny too. Boston area fam, thank you for the nice show. Awesome, cool. I used to live in the US, so cool, awesome. Have Boston Rob in the chat. Awesome.
Heard of Badger DAO? I have not looked at it. We can look at it in a second. Let's see what it's got. You guys rock. Thank you, Rutani. Go heavy into Ethereum or Bitcoin for new investors. I would highly recommend diversifying your wealth between the two. Maybe if you're a new investor, probably put, if you're just getting into crypto, put 70% of that amount you're willing to put into crypto in Bitcoin, and then 30% into Ethereum. That would be my advice for that for new investors. But yeah, I've got a higher percentage of Ethereum than Bitcoin at the moment. So that's just my personal portfolio.
Yeah. I want to touch on that just in a second. Ananas, nice sound quality. Thanks for showing up to the stream again. Always a big support. Thanks, you guys rock. Yeah, so heavy into Ethereum or Bitcoin for new investors. So just because I make a few videos on cryptocurrency as well on the channel, I read and I consume so much content from the analysts and all the big corporate figureheads and institutional investors in the space. So my answer is always dollar cost average into the market if you're just getting into it or wanting to invest more money. But I do agree with Raoul Paul from Real Vision, his analysis that in terms of percentage gains in 2021 we'll see a higher percentage gain of Ethereum than Bitcoin. And that's based on a few different analytics, but I think they both go up significantly, and I think Bitcoin's a bit safer, but I do think Ethereum outperforms this year. But have both. Why not cover both bases and add both?
Yeah, like last bull run we saw Ethereum go up to about 15 or 18% of Bitcoin's top, I believe, when Bitcoin was peaking at about 19K. I believe it was about 15 or 18%.
Yeah, it was something ridiculous like that. I think it maxed out at about 18% or something like that.
And now we're stuck in the mud at something like 3 or 4% of Bitcoin value, so 1 Ethereum to 1 Bitcoin. And Ethereum has done so much more than Bitcoin in the past in terms of, its projects it's built and the things it's brought to the space. I don't see why it should be less than 10% value of Bitcoin, personally.
Dogecoin equals lack of fundamentals equals uncertain pumpermentals. Yeah, 100%. The pumpermentals behind Dogecoin, like, I watched a cool video the other day, and it was this guy who had set up a bot that would scan Elon Musk trades, and then it would, if it mentioned Dogecoin or a certain stock, it would immediately buy that thing and then sell it 30 minutes later. And he was making on average 30% on every trade, which is just ridiculous. So yeah, as a hedge against Elon randomly pumping Dogecoin at random points, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy at this point that as soon as he tweets, it goes up between 30 to 50%. It's ridiculous. Balls of steel into a top 1,000 altcoin.
Which one?
Yeah, which one?
Mr. Walker.
Surely not Reef.
Which top 1,000 altcoin?
George Reef. My ETH equals 2 times my Bitcoin. Look, honestly, I think that's a pretty good portfolio allocation. I think Ethereum's gonna.
I think we're gonna see a lot of funds flow into Ethereum over the next day or two. Should check out the Bankless podcast on Spotify. I feel like DeFi deep dives. Cool, I will check that out.
Yeah, honestly,
I love DeFi at the moment, so I will definitely check out.
It's honestly fascinating, and there's so much going on in the space, and so much intellectual capital working on the space and making things.
Last time, so.
Oh, much more than last time, and much more teams that aren't not scam teams and not random ICOs that are going to smoke bomb, actual teams of academics that are behind these DeFi projects and these altcoins. So it's really interesting. I did a video on Mark Cuban. He did a podcast the other day, and he did an interview, and he's getting into DeFi heavy. And Mark Cuban has done a full 180. For those that don't know Mark Cuban, he's the alpha shark on Shark Tank US, and he's the owner of the Dallas Mavericks basketball NBA team. He's done a complete 180. He was saying Bitcoin was useless, Ethereum had no place back in 2017, 2018. Now he's done a full 180, and he's buying Aave, he's bought Sushi Swap, and he bought Sushi Swap.
Oh.
Sushi Swap, Aave. He said he owns a lot of Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. And I like all of those picks except for the Litecoin. I think there's much better projects and much better coins that you can put your money into. But it's interesting to see that Mark Cuban, of all people, is, loading up into DeFi of all things. Yeah, interesting.
I think the only inevitable route for crypto is DeFi. So I am actually not surprised these people putting. But I have been saying for months that DeFi it was born in 2020 and it's going to adolescence in 2021.
It's going to mature out.
I don't think there's any route for smaller projects in the crypto space other than DeFi for this year.
Yeah.
Have you guys noticed that some banks are not allowing transactions to purchase crypto? You mean you won't be able to put your money? I mean, we're in Australia, so not many of our banks even allow transactions to purchase crypto yet. Anyway, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we have any banks that allow direct purchase crypto.
Yeah, and Jtronic, it was such a headache getting funds out of our Australian bank accounts into exchanges to just buy crypto. It was such a headache. It had to go through all these security checks and took so long.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything sinister against banking and cryptocurrency, although I do think that cryptocurrency is the downfall of the financial sector and banking. But that's another story. But I don't think they have anything sinister against it at the moment. I think they're just behind the times and need to play catch up.
Yeah, guys, look at decentralized exchanges for workarounds that you don't need to sign up, you don't need to make any accounts. It's all decentralized. Your info isn't saved anywhere besides on the ledger and the blockchain, obviously. But that's another big pro for these decentralized exchanges like Uniswap. Sushi Swap, all these other ones.
I just want to go back to BTC Prillin. I'm up 610% on DOT. Like, very nice. That's very nice. That's awesome. Polkadot's huge, and I have huge respect for everyone that bought it early. Like, I think if you're up 610%, you only bought it like within the last 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
But when you see gains like that, the name of the game is holding. So you can make 50%, and it's very easy to sell out. So to get to 610% gains and have diamond hands, sometimes it's harder to hold when you're seeing gains, as opposed to it going down. So yeah, very nice.
So Liam Gilchrist used ANZ, but did you buy? You didn't buy the crypto straight through your ANZ. You transferred it onto an exchange, right?
Yeah, I think Grant meant like you can't directly from a bank account buy cryptocurrencies, at least not in Australia. I don't think ANZ does it?
Sure,
I'm sure that would have made news.
I wouldn't see ANZ letting people buy crypto.
And if any bank was to do it, I would think it would be Commonwealth Bank. They're sort of the more progressive one, and then all the other big four banks would follow it.
I actually think it'll be like our
like a smaller one.
Our online banks like Up and 23100, whatever that one's called.
All those small, ones that have no brick and mortar.
Yeah. Let's see. No, thank you, Jamie Tree. Thank you for the 50k party.
Hoot thanks for 50k. I'm about to head out. Hoot out. Awesome. Thanks for coming along to the show. And we have 47 watchers right now. I just want to thank everyone. You guys have been so great on the live streams. You guys have been great in terms of supporting the videos that have been coming out. Look, cryptocurrency has really changed our lives over the last 6 months, and it's been so much fun to just, I don't know, be in a community with all these people that are also into cryptocurrencies, doing these watch parties, doing these videos. If you guys could drop a like on the live stream, subscribe to Grant. He's the first one in the description. He does a lot of technical analysis. He was telling people to buy Polkadot at $4. He's telling people to buy Chainlink like 600% gains ago. And he has big buy signals out on some of the smaller altcoins. So just thanks everyone. You guys are great. And it's great to be here watching 50k plus in Bitcoin. It's a dream. It's a dream.
ICX is one of the biggest potentials. They have full support from Korean government. Awesome to see some adoption from the governments in cryptos now.
Yes, let's talk about the some huge news. The Miami.
Yep.
The Miami news. You know a lot about that.
Is there newer news on it?
I thought they did it. I thought they took the leap and actually bought it. So for those that don't know, just talking about governments and getting into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, the mayor of Miami, and it looks like Miami is becoming the new Los Angeles in a way, with the tax brackets in Los Angeles so high and this influx of intellectual capital and businesses and just creatives out of Los Angeles. And they're all going to Miami and Texas. So Miami is really becoming the new place to be, and now they're adopting different cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't really seen much like Miami news, it's insanely bullish, and it will build some bottom level price resistance on Bitcoin that news like this will negate the chance of Bitcoin taking an 80% drop down to the 2K march. I think we're going to stay around this sort of prices because things like this are happening with the government. So if you don't know much about Francis Suarez, he's the mayor of Miami. He's an awesome guy. He does heaps of interviews. I watch a lot of his interviews. He's done some on Spotify with, I think, Thinking Crypto podcast is one of them that he did, and that one's really good. He pretty much just talks about how he wants to put Bitcoin on the treasury of Miami. And Jamie says that I think in recent news he's already done it.
I think he's taken the plunge.
That would be awesome if they have. That would be so cool to hear if they have. But yeah, he's super pro crypto. I'm really excited to see what kind of projects he brings to Miami, because I know he'll put Bitcoin on the treasury, but what kind of cryptos will he introduce for payment, for your wage, for paying taxes? I'm sure a lot of those will be Bitcoin, but...
I mean, imagine if government employees can opt in to getting paid in Bitcoin, and if Miami takes that leap, and then other states follow the lead,
that's what they're gonna. Will
be insane.
Yeah, he says that they will bring on people allowing to change their payment in crypto instead of
that's nuts, and that would be so bullish.
If this kind of thing is happening, that only strengthens the DeFi sector of crypto, because if you're getting paid in a currency and you can't do anything with that currency other than transactions. You can't get a loan out, you can't pay interest, you can't get interest, you can't do all these other sort of things you do in the normal money market, then it's obviously still got a long way to go. So that's why it's so bullish for crypto and Bitcoin in general.
Sean, I just want to say thank you. You've been here from the early live streams when we were only getting about 5 viewers per live stream. So yeah, you were here early. So thanks a lot, Sean, for the Mitchell Walker. You've been great as well. Thanks for the support, guys. It's great to just hang out and just watch cryptos with you all and be around like-minded people.
They're giving full scholarships to people who wanting to study cryptocurrencies. That is awesome.
Jung Soo Choi, welcome. Yeah, that's awesome. That's insane. I study cryptocurrencies, or do you mean study blockchain and like computer science and that sort of thing?
Surely that's sort of
Surely it's like data scientists and things like that.
It's probably cryptography and
cryptography, yeah, true.
And what's it called, like security kind of stuff. I live in Korea and they're currently taking cryptos in a lot of cryptos in a lot of things as well.
All we talk about is ICX and Polkadot. That's very bullish.
Yeah, Korea's really big on Polkadot. They actually have NTFs like K-pop NTFs, I believe. Jungsu, can you
really?
Yeah, so they put a K-pop NTF onto the Polkadot blockchain.
Wow,
that was so surprising. That was when I think that was may have been one of the surges for Polkadot. That's like the first sort of adoption they've seen, and it's so cool to see that happen on Polkadot rather than see that happen on Ethereum.
Yeah,
I was super surprised.
That's really cool. That's really, really cool. Super bullish.
Yeah.
You can add BitPay to Apple Pay wallet now. That's huge. I saw that news come out, Sean, and I couldn't believe that there wasn't a bigger reaction to it. Like, that is insane. And I think what Apple did is they saw what was happening with Cash App, and they saw... So Cash App, I'm pretty sure, has just taken over Venmo as the biggest payment processor from the company Square in the US. It's just absolutely exploded. So I think they're following the lead of Jack Dorsey and Square. And that's insane news. And like, we're seeing new things come out every day. So we saw the Tesla news and we saw that news come out. Sort of a subdued reaction to it. I think it's slowly getting digested. But like, I don't know. So much more to the upside, breaking through 50K, sitting comfortably above it now. I don't know, all to the moon. Like, man, it's just all good coming out at the moment.
I've heard so much about VeChain recently. I held it back in December-ish, and I sold it to put it into another project. Looking at the price action of VeChain, I obviously wish I hadn't, but I think it's still a good project to invest in. I'm not 100,000% sold or know much about it, so yeah, I'll turn that.
Oh. Yeah, VeChain. I remember VeChain from back in 2017. I was sort of loosely following all these different projects going on, and VeChain absolutely exploded back in 2017, but it was all like smoke and mirrors. It was based off like hype around deals that weren't going through and that weren't actually legitimate, and then it crashed back down with the rest of the market. So yeah, VeChain, I haven't looked into it again this cycle, but I'm seeing hype build around it. I'm seeing analysts cover it more and more, and generally, like, when the market's so hot at the moment and so much money is flowing into the sector, like, you just need people talking about it, and it's going to run hard. So
it's one of those projects that isn't just hot air, and it's actually got a use case, and it's solving
it does have a huge use case.
I think I can keep seeing it running up along Bitcoin. I'm not sure if it'll be one of those cryptos like Chainlink that are just clearly going to smash into the top 10 and be one of those awesome cryptos, and Polkadot and Cardano, but I'm sure it'll perform very well against Bitcoin, and I don't think it's just all hot air that will drop in a matter of weeks. So yeah, I think it's a solid buy. I just don't think it'll be one of the best performing cryptos from now. Obviously, it has been one of the best performing cryptos for a couple of months now, but yeah, thanks for the great chat, guys. Are you guys in Sydney?
Yes, we are based in Sydney. Where are you from? Free Queensy 33. Oh wow, they're gonna have their own exchange soon. That's very bullish. Interesting.
I will definitely look into that.
Yeah, I want to look into that as well. I didn't know that news. Mike Smith, I live in Kansas. Welcome from Kansas, and I've tried talking my friends into buying Bitcoin for 4 years now, and they're kicking themselves. And now many have seen my wallets grow, and now they want in. The FOMO is real. Guys, isn't that how it always happens, man?
Every single friend of ours that we talk about Bitcoin, they're like, "Oh, oh, it's too high now. It's like I'm not really that interested. And like a month later, we go back on, and it's like we told him our friend to buy Ethereum at 840 AUD, so that's like 650 USD. I was telling him, like, if you don't buy now, you will regret it, and you can't claim ignorance because I'm telling you about it right now to buy. And then he never bought, and then he's like went up, and he's like, oh man, who knows? It's like, come on, happens every single time.
One of our closest friends, we begged to buy into cryptocurrencies, and he ended up buying a used car for 30K instead or something. So yeah, he's kicking himself hard now, and we can relate. We were talking earlier about, I want to ask everyone in chat, have you told your family, have you told your girlfriend or boyfriend or significant other, have you gotten your close friends into cryptocurrencies, and how has it turned out? Has it gone up since you got them into it? Has it gone down? Do you regret telling them about cryptocurrencies or helping them to invest into it? We were saying before, it's kind of a double-edged sword that if it goes up, they feel responsible for it themselves, whereas if it goes down, it's all your fault. So yeah, it's always hard giving people that are close to you financial advice or recommending them invest in Bitcoin, Ethereum, or all these other cryptocurrencies. So yeah, let us know what you guys do in that situation.
I actually saw him like 2 hours ago, and I was like showing them the charts of Bitcoin.
And
he's like, oh, what do you mean, man? It's like 50K AUD. I'm like, no.
It's 50K USD.
It's like 70K AUD or something.
Yeah, man.
Thoughts on Premier Gladys?
Gladys. Honestly, I don't follow politics too much. I think she's all right. She cops a lot of hate. I'm a big fan of who's the Get on the Beers guy? The Melbourne Premier? Surely Get on the Beers.
What's his name? What's his
Mitchell,
name?
What's the guy?
It's like there's like a full song about it even.
Yeah, it was on the top of the the hottest.
Mitchell, 100. What was his name? The Melbourne dude. Who said
I think it's Daniel something. Yeah, the get on the Beers Premier. I think he's funny as. I wish we had him. But yeah, he's copped so much hate and flack over Melbourne going into lockdown.
Yeah. What kind of cryptos are you guys bullish on? So we've seen VeChain, we've seen a few Reef buyers. What else are you guys, what other altcoins are you guys buying for this next alt season? Because I said earlier in the stream, after Bitcoin kind of flies up and then we'll start to consolidate, we've got some massive resistance of 50K. I think we're going to stay at 50K for a couple days. I'm not sure exactly how long, but it's a time for us to start consolidating, and I think a lot of that funds is going to flow into altcoins and Ethereum. So what other cryptos are you guys looking at buying for this next alt season?
Yeah, and what we'll see happen is if Bitcoin sort of chills out, like takes a chill pill and just consolidates and starts ranging for a while, we'll be able to see the flow of capital back into the altcoins, and we'll see some crazy gains again. So that's the only bittersweet thing. Like, it's so cool seeing Bitcoin above 50K and running so hard, but the only negative is that money flows out of all the altcoins. So any altcoins that you're holding might be in the red in the short term. So, but as soon as it starts consolidating, we'll see that money flow back out. Yeah, Daniel Andrews, that's it. The Get on the Beers Premier. All right, my mum bought in at 28K and she was nervous, but now she understands why I spend hours researching. My wife loves that I have a money-making hobby. Yeah, 100%.
Nice.
I think when you earn money and people see the returns on your cryptocurrency, and especially when they dip their toe in and then see some returns, it just gives so much validation to all the time you spend researching it and looking at charts and buying and like reading up on the latest DeFi projects and whatnot. So yeah, that's awesome. That's so cool.
So ICX, we've seen quite a bit of ICX, Flow and Orn. I've heard of ICX. I haven't heard of the other two. Let's see. So this one's called Icon.
BTC, ETH, VET, and Theta. I like all them. I call it my Fantastic Four. Need Chainlink for more money. Yeah, Chosen One. I feel you hard on that one. There's so many different projects that I want to buy, but I don't want to convert any of my Bitcoin, Ethereum, or altcoins that I'm holding because I'm bullish on all of them. I think they're all good. I don't want to let go of any of them. So
I think everyone has that problem. The next Polkadot, kind of like Zilliqa to Cardano. Is that what ICX is? I've heard a lot of Polygon as well.
ICX. I say to two of my friends to buy $5,100, say happy. BTC Prillin, I'd be buying you a few beers or chicken schnitzels. That's insane. 5,100. So they've made 10 times their money. You must have been telling them to buy back in March last year. Very nice. Great call. Great call. Sean, most of my family thought I was going crazy, lol. Now they all text me asking when they should buy. Isn't that the hardest thing? I hate when I get the text or the message.
I'm going to have to end my stream just because my laptop's about to die.
We've got Josh in chat. Awesome. Welcome, Josh.
Okay. When did you put that in?
I completely missed that.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
It's so hard to answer when you should buy and is now a good time to buy. I cop a lot of messages. I got my family and my girlfriend into buying Bitcoin, and I cop the occasional message. We see a bit of a red candle, and I cop the messages. Should I sell out now? Should I sell out?
I hate that.
And I'm just like, you do you, but I'm selling. I'm not selling.
I've got a family member. Whenever Bitcoin went from 30K up to 42K, came back down to 38, and I copped the message saying, "Oh, you should have sold." It's like you don't follow Bitcoin at all.
Yeah, it's annoying when people don't get into it, and then we have maybe a 10% drop, and you get the "I told you so." Bitcoin's gonna drop. It's such a risky investment. But yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. I think it's a good idea to get your family, friends, close loved ones at least portionally into cryptocurrencies. Because it's a good way to learn about investing, and it's good to get exposure to that space. As soon as you have a bit of capital invested into cryptocurrencies, you start following the news, you start watching the charts, you start consuming so much about it, and it's a good gateway into other types of investment vehicles. You could move on to the stocks and whatnot. So yeah, I think it's a good idea to get your friends and family to dip their toe into Bitcoin. But as Free Queensy said, dollar cost average, guys, 100% dollar cost average, never lump sum. And always follow up any advice by saying, I don't know, that's just me.
So Orion's another reef as well. So yeah, it's going to be aggregating heaps of DEX and SEX. It's going to be, okay, that's mad. It's going to be another reef. I actually might put some money into Orion. I might look at it a little bit more.
Orion protocol.
Yeah, just because of maybe if reefs value just starts to diminish a little bit for the short term, I put some money. Have a look at Orion for the short term. So when it comes to innocent friends, yeah, dollar cost average. Yep, definitely recommend dollar cost average. Your price prediction for Bitcoin end of year.
Oops, sorry guys, I just messed up the chart.
I think it hit 50K a lot quicker than I expected. I thought we were going to see 50K around the April mark. I didn't expect it to see already in February. I mean, that was if I was looking at Bitcoin back in sort of November, I was looking around the April May mark for 50K Bitcoin. So who knows?
Yeah, this is what my answer is, and I love that question. That's a great question. What is our Bitcoin prediction for the end of the year? And this is what I always go back to. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar. If you're sort of into the space, you've probably heard of the stock to flow model for Bitcoin. So it's one of these most accurate projections of the Bitcoin price, and it's based on the halving events of Bitcoin. So every roughly 4 years, the mining reward that Bitcoin miners gets cut in half. And generally, 12 months later, what you see is a huge uptick in the Bitcoin price, and it absolutely ripped to the upside. So the last halving event we saw was in 2016, and we all know what happened in 2017, where it absolutely ripped to the upside, and we saw that huge bull market of the end of 2017 when it hit 20K. Now, we had one happen in 2020. It was sort of in the midst of COVID. And what happens 12 months later, we see this huge rip to the upside. And what have we seen over the last 6 months? A huge move to the upside. So let's see what the stock to flow model is suggesting towards the end of the year. Well, what have I done? Whoops.
Once Reef gets over supply thing, I think it's going to run. I 100% agree. Yeah, I'm definitely in reef for I definitely want to be in reef when that price action starts to increase exponentially. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so end of year, what the stock to flow is projecting is it's projecting a 100k Bitcoin by end of year. So it's a good indicator to keep your eye on. It's been very accurate. You can see over the years, the green and the red is how far it deviates off the price. So we saw when it ran really hard back in 2017, it deviated quite a lot from the chart. So this big red point, it's a good buy and selling indicator. If it goes too low, great time to buy. If it runs too hot, and it is actually running the stock to flow model, which is interesting to see, it's a good time to sell. But when I say it's forerunning it and we're seeing this move upwards, where it's front running it a bit, it's barely front running it. So yeah, an interesting chart to keep your mind on. I reckon we see 100k Bitcoin this year. Which is honestly, if you follow a lot of the analysts and big institutions in the space, is a fairly conservative estimate.
Yeah, I think we could definitely see 100k Bitcoin this year.
Especially if we keep seeing the institutional moves towards it.
Yeah, it's hard to say end of year though. That's just the one thing that I'm very
end of year.
If we're going to hit 100k and then fall, but take a dip back down to 60k or something like that. It's really hard to say, but
because historically we do see these huge bull cycles followed by bear cycles. In the past, what the trend has been is that they get shorter and shorter. So do we run up until maybe like October this year and pull back towards the end of the year?
Or could this cycle not even follow the previous? Because we're seeing adoption and retail and institutional investors. A lot of people saying this cycle is completely different in terms of its, environment and the people who are in it and what it's being used for. So, it's a mixed bag of opinions. I think we're looking a lot more of the upside than the downside for this bull market. So
yeah, definitely. I think we see just with the institutional adoption, with the amount of wallets that we're seeing, with the amount of supply getting taken off exchanges, I think we see I don't think we see us fall back into a huge bear cycle. Like maybe we see some pullback in consolidation and a bit of a correction, but nothing to the likes of what we saw back in 2017. There's just too much institutional demand for it. Then again, if it runs to like 300k, I could see it falling back to 100k.
Yeah.
But we'll be like...
You reckon 66% retracement?
Like maybe if it runs that hard and gets so hot, like a lot of these analysts are basing these moonshot price predictions of like 330k, 500k, 1 mil, 5 mil, like these ridiculous moonshot Bitcoin estimates. They're basing it on how hard we ran in 2017. So if we run as hard as in 2017, I think it's not out of the question to expect as big a pullback as in 2017. So yeah. That's just my opinion on the topic.
OpenDAO connecting real-world assets to DeFi. Oh, cool. Australian-based.
An Australian team based in Melbourne. That's interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting. You don't see a lot of Australians working on blockchain or much going on in the Australian blockchain.
There are heaps of Aussies in crypto projects.
Like what?
In the top 100.
In the top 100?
Yeah, a lot of
really?
The I'm pretty sure. Oh, which one is it in the top 100? Oh, I think one of I might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure one of Chainlink's boards is based from Perth. One of the co-creators. Oh, I can't even remember which one it is. I want to say Polkadot, but I'm not 100% sure. We do see a lot of Aussies in the space, yeah, but in terms of Aussie projects, yeah.
Like
Aussie-based projects, yeah. We see a lot of Aussies in the scene though, which is pretty surprising.
What I really want to talk about right now is just short-term Bitcoin predictions. I'm talking like over the next week or 2 weeks. So we're seeing higher highs, higher lows, nice contraction. It looks like a very healthy break through the 50k resistance. What do you expect us to see from here?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I see us to maybe a pullback back down to, what chart is this? The 1 minute chart?
This is a 1 minute chart.
I can see us easily pulling back down to the 50k and retest that, but start building support because we've touched it here as support. How you going, Cobbers?
I love the term Cobbers. Plokey cocky, if that's how you say your name. I love the Australian term Cobbers. You don't hear it enough, in my opinion. So how you going? Welcome to the stream.
But yeah, guys, I reckon if we pull back, it's Dogecoin. Thank you. Yeah, the guy who created Dogecoin was Australian, and that's Dogecoin. Yeah, I can see Bitcoin pulling back to the 50k mark and using that as support easily. I think that is what's going to happen, or maybe even a bit higher. I think since we did blast up to 51.6, I can see us using this sort of 50k as support and then kind of bouncing between 50 and 51 or 52k.
Okay.
As some consolidation and then money flow into alts, and then we start doing alt season.
Yeah.
Ethereum first before alts, and then we kind of keep going up with Bitcoin or see what state we're in at that point.
I am actually a bit more optimistic. I think we see a nice run up to about 55k before we see any significant correction or pullback or consolidation.
So you think we just
happening.
Keep running up with this?
I think we keep running up. I think the news still has to be digested in terms of Apple adding it to Apple Pay, in terms of institutional, like anything can come out of the woodwork. That would be bullish for Bitcoin, and I think we just keep running up to 55k. I think we see another 10%. It's just the fact that we're sitting so comfortably above 50k. We broke through it nicely. I'm a bit more bullish. I reckon within the next 2 weeks we see a 55k Bitcoin before any sort of consolidation and flow back into the altcoins, which we want to see that too. God bless you, Cobber.
100k by May. Let's hope so. If Bitcoin 385k by May.
385. We'll have to see some huge runs. I'd be happy with 100k as well.
We'll be happy with 100k.
If Bitcoin gets to 100k this year, I'll go to Australia. Yeah, we'll meet up for some beers if Bitcoin makes it to 100k. If Bitcoin breaks 100k, we'll come to the US. Oh no, he's from Canada.
I'm not sure.
Sean, where are you from? I remember. Sean.
Oh, sorry.
Bitcoin gets to 100k, I goes to Australia. Pretty sure he's a Canadian living in the US, if I remember correctly. They say Bitcoin 385k by May. What shall we do with it in 2022? Sell it or keep it? Victor. This is my advice, Victor. I would keep a core position that you never sell until things change. If Bitcoin, say, gets flipped, say a new superior asset comes out, then we can think about selling it, and we can think about exit strategies, and we can think about deleveraging out of the trade. But until then, while Bitcoin is the apex asset, while it is the number one, there is no sell strategy. There is no exit strategy. Keep in mind the next halving event happens in 2024. So all these huge $1 million potential Bitcoins, if we see a huge Bitcoin price in at some point, it'll be in 2025. So I think at least hold it until 2025, and we're just going to continue to see continued acceptance, validation, and money flow into Bitcoin. So yeah.
Yeah, look, we're still moving from sort of optimism to belief in the Bitcoin life cycle. 2022 will not be the peak. I think it'll be much more down the line, as Jamie said, when the new big guy comes in that's a better store value than Bitcoin and has more of a belief system than Bitcoin does. Then maybe we can deleverage our position, or maybe transfer our position into that asset. But for the most part, for the next years, we'll just be looking at Bitcoin.
I reckon if Bitcoin dominance in terms of the altcoins, which is sitting around 70% right now, if it dips to, say, under 50%, then we can start to sweat and look at what's causing it to dip so low and be like, is there a new DeFi project or is there a new asset out there that is superior? But as of right now, no. Bitcoin is the superior asset and there's no exit strategy. Just to illustrate my point, We see the halving event in May 2024, and we see a run up from about 100K to $1 million. So that's when all these moonshot predictions are basing it on. We see a huge run after every halving event as miners' rewards are halved. So 2025 is when we're probably going to be seeing the peak Bitcoin. Bitcoin will be in the end game. Toronto or LA, I'm in both places quite often. I've never been to Toronto. I've been to LA a few times. It's a nice place, but I reckon Toronto. We'll go to a few basketball games if
Raptors games?
Yeah, a few Raptors games. Maybe run into Drake. Yeah, let's do Toronto. If Bitcoin hits 100K, let's lock it in.
Have you guys looked into AMP?
100K.
That's ample fourth, right? Not much. I know AMP is doing good things.
Yeah, haven't looked too much into AMP. Is that a top 50 coin?
Oh, yeah.
It is?
I'm sure it is. Go on CoinMarketCap. 2022 is scary. I think now FOMO, is driving it.
It's 219. Look, anything in the top...
Oh, 219, wow.
Anything in the top 200, I'm pretty bullish on.
Oh, this isn't AMP fourth, so this is just AMP.
As soon as you're out of the top 200, I just would take a closer look at it. I would have to do some more research into it before I could give any sort of valuable opinion on AMP.
Yeah, look, guys, we mainly just like to trade. Well, I personally just like to trade in sort of top 50 and potentially top 100 cryptos.
If you do a lot of research
for these
onto
smaller
it,
cryptos to just build up a fan base and build up their public outlook, and then a lot of people come in and buy their ICO. And then they just kind of scatter and they get hit with accusations and they just take their profits and then don't touch the project again, and everyone starts to lose their investment. Top 50, top 100, you're usually a lot more safe than you would be with these coins below that mark. So if you're looking at these smaller cryptos, yeah, definitely do some more research. Look at who's behind the team. Look if they're doing some sensible stuff with the project and not just random people on their first project.
Yeah.
So that's my advice.
Yeah, anything out of the top 200, I'd put your guards very high up and do a lot of research into the team that's doing it and what they're actually doing. Let's not forget what happened in 2017 with all the ICOs when they all smoke bombed with everyone's money. I'm not saying that it's a bad project. I just don't know enough about it. But when a coin generally gets into the top 50, you can have a sense of security that it's in the top 50 for a reason, that it has a good team backing it. It's solving a problem that needs to be solved. When you move out of the top 50, trade with a degree of caution, and do your research, do your due diligence, just to check it out.
Do you guys think Litecoin will make a similar 17 move? I don't think
Litecoin,
so.
Yeah.
Not huge fans of Litecoin. I think it's in a really awkward position between being an Ethereum and Bitcoin from 2017. A lot of people were jumping on board to being a shitcoin. So it's in a really awkward not really
spot.
offering anything as big as the other altcoins in the top 100 to top 50, and not really as well known or as well adopted as Bitcoin and Ethereum. It can't really be known as a store of value. So I see why you would invest in Litecoin and why you think it's a good investment. I just personally like to steer clear of it. So I think it's definitely other projects that you would see better gains on.
Yeah, I love when people bring up Litecoin because it's such a fascinating coin, and there's arguments for the bull case and arguments for the bear case, and I've been in both parties in the last 3 months. So let's go through the bull case for Litecoin. The big one, and what got me buying Litecoin and adding it to my portfolio, is that, first of all, PayPal and Square, of the 4 cryptocurrencies that the first institutional move we saw move into cryptocurrencies, we saw them add Bitcoin, we saw them add Ethereum, we saw them add Bitcoin Cash, and then we saw them add Litecoin. So when I saw this, I was like, no way, Litecoin, that gives it such a huge degree of validity and backs the project so much that I started buying Litecoin. But then doing more research into it, what Grant said, in that it's in a weird space between not really being a store of value and not really solving the problems that Ethereum solves. So what Litecoin is, it was a hard fork from Bitcoin. The way that it's mined is different, and it can have more transactions on the network compared to Bitcoin. So yeah, it's an interesting one that I don't think there's any use for holding it as opposed to just having that portfolio allocation in Bitcoin. That's just my opinion. Maybe I'm proved wrong and Litecoin does run, but like Bitcoin's at 51K and Litecoin has just barely hit half of its previous all-time high after PayPal and Square have offered it and have invested into it. Like, I don't know. Litecoin, I think, gets outperformed by Bitcoin every day of the week, and it doesn't solve any of the problems that all these other altcoins are solving. So I think there's better places for your money. That's just my opinion on Litecoin.
Enjoying the vid. What are your thoughts on ETH now? Super bullish on ETH. You know, we both hold Ethereum. We have Ethereum on our cash balance in our small business. We put our liquid cash into Ethereum and Bitcoin. I think we've got maybe 60% Bitcoin and 40% Ethereum. So, you know, we're super bullish on the outlook of Ethereum. Yeah, I can tell you guys why. I've mentioned earlier in the stream, but I'll just read some more comments. What are your thoughts on the Ripple win-lose SEC? It's hard to say. I know Ripple are going to fight back with their entire force. They've got, you know, something like, I don't know, a crazy amount of documents for against why they're going to win the fight, but SEC always historically wins. We've seen a massive crypto head that's now on the board of the SEC, so I think he could definitely sway some opinions on their side of things. It's really hard to say. I know there's a lot of people still holding Ripple from the giant run up and then drop down. They're still holding and they're still super bullish and they think they're going to win the case, but I'm steering clear. I'm not 100% sure which way it'll go.
Yeah,
it's not as hopeless as it was.
100%. I agree with Grant on that one. And Ripple's another fascinating coin that, like, you can make great arguments for the bear case and the bull case for Ripple as well. And I've been in both camps too. So I'm bullish on Ripple in the short term. I think they win the SEC case, but I don't hold Ripple because I think there's less risky investments, and I don't think the team behind them is good for cryptos. So I remember when the SEC thing got announced and they just tried to drag every other, they tried to drag Bitcoin down, they tried to drag Ethereum down, they tried to drag Litecoin down. They were saying that they were based in China and that China controlled all the cryptocurrencies. Like they were getting taken under and they were just throwing shade everywhere on all these other cryptocurrencies. So I don't know. I didn't like that reaction out of the team behind Ripple. So I don't personally hold it. I am bullish. I think they win the SEC thing and that we see a nice recovery in the price. But there's just cooler projects that I think have just as much upside for less risk than Ripple. But yeah, Ripple's a really interesting one, just like Litecoin.
I owned it all yesterday, won ETH, and pulled all my investment from it and pushed it into Bitcoin. Nice. That's awesome.
That would have been a really nice trade.
Looking at spread between Ethereum and these other altcoins against Bitcoin, and look at these indicators when to transfer your wealth into Bitcoin from these other altcoins, because we know that it happens in cycles. So if you know Bitcoin's going to run up, it's a really good idea to kind of move your wealth from these altcoins into Bitcoin, even if you're still super bullish on these altcoins, but they still might be stagnant while Bitcoin's flying up. And then kind of move your value. Once Bitcoin does fly, then move your value back into these altcoins. So made $3,000. Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. How good is it just being in cryptocurrency? If you're not messing around with leveraging and getting liquidated out of positions, it's so nice just making, like, let's be honest, at the moment, the market's so hot, it's very hard not to be making money, and it's a great income when you get into it. So yeah, predictions on Ethereum mid and long term. So let me just go over a few of the reasons we're very bullish on Ethereum and why I think it probably outperforms Bitcoin. But just for full disclosure, hold them both in both of our portfolios. So we can see Ethereum, it's trading in this channel nicely, just as we thought. What we're seeing is as Bitcoin runs up, we're seeing a lot of money flow out of Ethereum and the altcoins into Bitcoin, trying to catch the run upwards. And it's just consolidating for a while. So we might see some sideways action over the short term. And by short term, I'm meaning 48 hours to a week. But as soon as we see Bitcoin take a chill pill and sort of chill out for a while and consolidate and just sort of stick around the price for a while, we'll see that money flow right back into Ethereum, and I think we see it rip to the upside. So really bullish on Ethereum. As soon as we break $2,000, which I think we got rejected at once already. We hit 1900 at one point, didn't we?
I don't think so.
We didn't hit 1900?
No, I don't think so. Are you looking at... Oh, yeah, looking at Ethereum.
Yeah.
I think we had 1874.
Okay, so we didn't hit 1900. Look, maybe a few rejections at $2,000, but I think we ripped to the upside. And I think, yeah, Ethereum outperforms Bitcoin this cycle, but Bitcoin's probably the safer bet. We're not seeing the same institutional demand that we saw with Bitcoin in Ethereum. So that's why I say that Bitcoin's probably a safer bet. But there's more upside to Ethereum. We're seeing so much of the Ethereum supply get locked up in the ETH 2.0 staking contract, and we're seeing whales. So I saw this statistic the other day. Wallet addresses with over 1,000 Ethereum have increased their Ethereum by the highest percentage since 2017. So, I mean, we know what happened in 2017 where it just ripped to the upside. Whales are accumulating despite Ethereum being at all-time high levels. Like, can you be more bullish than that? I don't think you can. So, yeah. I'm very bullish on Ethereum in the short and medium term. There's simple supply and demand. There's just too much supply. And look at Bitcoin breaking above our...
More upside in Cardano. More upside than Ethereum. Cardano is an awesome project, and it does rival Ethereum in terms of its everything it has to do with it technically and all its specifications. But you cannot fight Ethereum's network and how many projects have built on the ERC20 chain. And, just how well known it is. It's once Ethereum 2.0 catches up to Cardano, if it does catch up to Cardano, it's Ethereum always wins. But, Cardano's always got a step ahead in terms of specifications. So
yeah,
I think it's good to hold both. I think there'll be a place for both of them. I don't think one of them is going to snuff out the other one.
But I do agree that I think there's more upside in Cardano. What I would argue that with, and I'm bullish on Cardano, I think that rips to the upside as well. What I'd argue that with is, although there is more upside, there's also more risk. So we've seen this huge parabolic move in Cardano. We're seeing it sort of stagnate and chill out at the moment, and sort of just base a few times, and it's kind of deciding what it wants to do. There's a lot of catalysts coming up, but interestingly, two things that people underestimate about Ethereum is the brand name and the fact that it's been the second largest coin for so long. So a lot of people that aren't based in cryptocurrency and don't know much, they do know Ethereum just because it's been so big for so long. A lot of people that don't really dabble in cryptocurrencies and the altcoins won't know what Cardano is, and you can't underestimate the value of brand name being a first mover and the amount of adoption that we've seen from Ethereum already. And that's not to say Cardano doesn't catch up and that it overtakes, because it may just do that. And yeah, if it does, imagine the upside on that. Yeah, follow the whales. That's exactly it. Follow the whales. 3 major catalysts coming up for ADA. Africa deal, Twitter collaboration, and Coinbase listing. That Africa stuff coming out about Cardano is so interesting. And yeah, the Coinbase listing will be huge as well. Every time anything gets listed on Coinbase, it just rips to the upside. So yeah.
Rock Fitness, you think ETH will hit 5K this summer? Our summer is the end of the year. I'm assuming you think you're talking American summer. Let me think about it. 5K. Yeah. I reckon we could see 5K by mid this year.
Wait, so their summer, there'll be winter mid this year?
Maybe not by this summer, but I think during this American summer, yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah.
Yeah, do you think Ethereum will hit 5K this summer?
I'd be quite disappointed if it didn't, I think. Especially with the direction that Bitcoin's headed, yeah.
I think my 2021 target for Ethereum this year is between 5 to 6K. And for those that want to know the valuation and analysis and reasoning behind it, I have a few videos on my channel about Raoul Pol. his valuation of 20,000 is based off Metcalfe's law, and plotting the 2021 run of Ethereum against the 2017 run of Bitcoin based on the wallet adoption of the two different coins, and they match really closely if you link them up. But what I think he's missed is that the retail investors coming into the space in 2017 drove the Bitcoin price up to 20K, and it had no business being at 20K. And I don't think we see the same thing happen to Ethereum this time. I think we see it hit 5 to 6K, because that's where Bitcoin should have topped out at back in 2017. So that's my price prediction. By this summer, if I gun to my head, no. I think we see it a bit later, maybe 2 or 3 months later. What would that be? That'd be the spring. So maybe spring your time we see 5 to 6K Ethereum.
I think that ETH will be recently adopted because of branding, but then yeah, exactly. The gas fees are just killing everyone at the moment on dexes and trying to trade that Ethereum between locations. It really sucks that the gas fees have to be like that. That's just another reason to pump into Cardano and Zilliqa and these other smart contract platforms that offer much more upside. I definitely agree with that. So once again, for BTC in 2021, I think we all think I'll reach 100K. If there's any source more like 150. There's never any sure info about if it's going to hit something like that. People have put out estimations. Again, I think the most accurate one to follow would be the stock to flow by Plan B. Always take a look at the stock to flow when in doubt, or looking at exact time date estimations if you want to look at those sort of things. So yeah, just take a look at the stock to flow and kind of read that. And
yeah, stock to flow, the two most accurate analysts in the past, and let me just give some disclosure here, just because things have been accurate in the past and analysts have nailed the price in the past and different pricing models have nailed the price in the past, no one has any true idea. No one knows what Bitcoin's going to do tomorrow, let alone what it's going to do this year. But it's interesting to look at all these different regression analysis and what's been most accurate in the past. So the two most accurate Bitcoin predictors in the past have been the stock to flow model, which we looked at before, is predicting a 100K Bitcoin by end of the year, October, November. The most accurate analyst, he predicted the 2020 price, Max Kaiser. He predicted it would hit 26K by the end of 2020, and he hit the nail on the head. So he was the most accurate. What he predicts is a 65K short-term target. And he's been preaching that since mid-January, and it looks like we're on our way up there over the next month or two. And he has a 220K year target. So I think somewhere between 100 to 220K is a reasonable guess to where Bitcoin ends up this year. But yeah, we'll have to continue to see the trends of institutional adoption and validity across the board. So yeah.
I focus more on the logarithmic chart instead of the stock to flow method. Yep, definitely. A lot of the analysts look at logarithmic chart, and I think stock to flow has had a lot of accusations of it being inaccurate due to the different conditions between cycles. Logarithmic chart has also not failed us. I think it's another one to look at. A lot of the big analysts around YouTube and things like that look at it, like Benjamin Cohen's a big one who looks at logarithmic charts, and he's been spot on since I've been watching him, at least on all of his predictions for cryptos in the top 10. So yeah, I couldn't fault you for looking at that. Have you guys heard of the Pi cycle, which accurately predicted the top? No, I have not.
No, I haven't, but I'm going to look that up. Give us a bit more information, TruePack786, about the Pi cycle. Accurately predicted the top in the past 3 cycles. What I'd like to know is what's it predicting for this cycle? Because that'd be really interesting. If it's sort of in line with what all these analysts and models are saying, or if it's completely off, that would be interesting. Let us know what it's predicting for this cycle. I focus more on the logarithmic chart instead of the stock to flow model, 100%. But what's interesting is that all roads lead to Rome. So I think every different type of analysis has its place and has its positives and negatives. I think you can't lean on any one too much because they all have their place. So yeah, but what's interesting is that all roads lead to Rome in that like they all point to the similar sort of valuations and similar sort of tops. So yeah, very interesting. Pi cycle indicator, Google it. We'll pull it up.
We'll check it out.
Have a beautiful weekend, everyone. Stay safe. Thank you. Thanks for coming along, Jay Tronic. It's been great having you guys on the stream. Welcome everyone to the stream. If you're new around here, my name's Jamie Tree. This is ShizoCrypto. His links are the first 3 in the description. Would definitely recommend going to subscribing to him. We just wanted to jump on. It's so surreal seeing over a 50k Bitcoin. We're talking altcoins. We're watching the candles and we're just enjoying watching Bitcoin nice and cruising over 50k. It's smashed through it, and it's sitting pretty above there. So yeah, good times. Let me look up this Pi cycle indicator.
What does it use? A moving average?
Moving average
350 times 2 scroll back up, it's got the formula at the top,
and it looks like it predicts when the price is too overheated.
Is it literally just the divergence of the 350 and 111 moving averages?
This is interesting. So when it crosses over, that's when it's ran too hard, and that's a sell signal, and it looks like we're getting a little close. What it looks like is that it's based off of the price. When it runs too hard and gets too overheated, it gives a sell signal.
Yeah, so it's just long term moving averages crossing over.
Yeah.
It's a third of a year to the 352 days. So okay, yeah.
That's an interesting one to keep an eye on.
It doesn't really take into account a lot of other factors, but it's in terms of just purely technical indicators, which have been has served us very well in these markets where the fear greed index is extremely high. I think it probably is a good one to look at. I'll look more into it after the stream. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Victor. You've been great on the stream as well.
I'm thinking of investing another 5,000 in the market. What is your suggestion? What percentage should I invest in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP? I would put 100% of it between Bitcoin and Ethereum. I wouldn't put any of it in Litecoin, XRP, unless you really like that Litecoin coin. I'd steer clear of XRP personally, because even if you do see gains on XRP, I'm not sure how hard they will be. I'm not sure how much it'll explode if the FUD announcement does. And it's literally a gamble. I would personally steer clear of both XRP and Litecoin. I don't think Litecoin will perform as well as Ethereum and other cryptos in the top 20. I think it'll get snuffed out and get pushed down that market cap ladder when the other cryptos start to explode. So yeah, I'd definitely kind of put that percentage between Bitcoin and Ethereum. What do you reckon on that?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I'd pose it to the chat as well. What would you guys buy if you had to invest 5,000 into the market right now? How I would probably do it, I probably wouldn't touch Litecoin or XRP. This is just personal preference. I'm not very bullish on Litecoin. I am bullish on XRP, but I just don't like the team behind it, and I think there's some less risky with just as much upside projects out there. So what I would do is maybe 3,000 in Bitcoin and 2,000 in into Ethereum if you're looking at holding it long. If you're looking at holding it and trading it, maybe some different sort of allocations potentially. Like if you're looking at swing trading it, probably. It looks like Bitcoin's putting in some consolidation between 50k and 52k, so we might sit in this area and then see a nice flow out into some other.
And that's exactly what we said earlier in the stream, guys. I think we're going to see Bitcoin just chill around this area between 50 and 52, and hopefully overnight we'll see a lot of the funds flow into the altcoins. Yeah,
100%. So yeah, 100% go all in on Bitcoin. I don't think you can ever go wrong with buying Bitcoin, especially if you're looking at holding it long. We have Tyler Durden from Fight Club in the chat. Go all in on Bitcoin. Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with that. Maybe a bit of exposure to Ethereum if you're feeling it as well. Yeah.
You guys got any more questions about the price action of Bitcoin, Ethereum, any other cryptos? We'll be happy to look at any technicals. I can
jump. We had a question from Poland.
Charts and see what we're looking at.
That we jumped over.
Zek, and talking about Zek.
Zek from Poland. Welcome, Lorenz. Let's take a look at Zek. Just quickly, if there's any altcoins you guys want us to check out while we're still on. Oh, Zcash.
Scroll down. Let's look at the price action. Nice. It's done decent. Oh wait, no.
I mean,
no, it hasn't.
It hasn't done great against the like when you look at something like this. So the three different things that you're looking at is the market cap in blue, the price is in green, but the price against Bitcoin is in yellow. And if you look at the yellow line, that is not a very encouraging chart. It looks like it's just been constantly breaking down against Bitcoin. So when you hold something like this, and you see it constantly breaking down against Bitcoin, like why aren't you just holding Bitcoin in that case? So
especially with this coin that's sitting out the top 10 or 15.
Yeah.
If it's just bleeding against Bitcoin value, is there any point of holding it? Do you what's the justification behind it? Unless they got an amazing team or they got an amazing project coming out, and their blog posts are coming out with something really, really good that you think is really bullish in the short term on fundamentals. I can't see a reason to hold it if it's just bleeding.
Yeah, if it's just a store of value like Bitcoin is, Bitcoin's the apex store of value. That's the number one asset. So the same thing I would say against Litecoin. If it's just constantly bleeding and breaking down against the Bitcoin price, why not hold Bitcoin? So yeah, that's what I'd say.
You guys are amazing. My notifications are on. Thank you, Victor.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Victor. That's really nice of you. Also for the Europe market, since I am in Croatia, a lot of people are using Revolut, if you guys heard of it, but the fees kill you.
Oh, yeah.
Croatia's such a lovely place. I love Croatia. One of my favorite countries on earth.
I have heard of Revolut. I haven't really looked into it, though.
Yeah, haven't heard of Revolut.
I saw Chainlink above that. Yep, Chainlink's one of those cryptos. I think it was...
Filecoin, interesting.
Oh yeah, Filecoin. I was actually really bullish on Filecoin, and I held a lot of it at one point, and I made extremely handsome profits, and then I sold out. Haven't really been looking at it recently, but yeah, Chainlink is another one of those ones to hold for 2021. Back in when it was Chainlink was at $9, $11, that was, in my opinion, a very clear and obvious buy for all crypto investors. I think almost everyone bought into Chainlink, and then we all saw massive gains up to 31, so 300%. Massive profits against Bitcoin. Yeah, I can see it just keep exploding. This is one of those ones that was just so obvious that it was going to explode into the top 10. Into it should be in around the 5th place, in my opinion. So yeah, definitely going to be holding Link for 2021.
Yeah, I'm bullish on Link as well, and I think we see much more upside. Who knows what happens short term, but like longer term, I think you'll do well.
This is one of those projects that was sort of sitting in 18th place and had no business being there. It has an awesome and really respectable team behind it that really know what they're doing. Their socials and are really organic, and they're not fake followers, and then a lot of people interacting with their socials. Their blog posts are updated and extremely informative and always talk to the public. The only one criticism I have of Chainlink against one of its competitors, something like Band Protocol, is that they're not entirely decentralized. They do have a bit of a centralized aspect to their process, whereas Band is completely decentralized. But regardless, I'm still super bullish on them for this year.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the coin market cap. I think Chainlink has some business sitting in the top 5. So I think it flips Bitcoin Cash. I think it flips Litecoin. Not bullish on those two at all. I think it also flips XRP. And that would put its market cap around $25 billion. So just where it's sitting now, you're like 100% upside on Chainlink. Yeah. So yeah, I think it has business being in the top 5. So
I think it'll be the 4th biggest after Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and then Chainlink. I think
you don't think Polkadot?
No, I think Polkadot should be below those. I think Chainlink has more upside than those.
Interesting. Yeah, but yeah, definitely has a case to make for the top 5 in our opinion. Yeah.
As well, yeah.
What do you think about Filecoin? I don't know much about Filecoin.
Filecoin is
but
one of those
I know
that
Grant
I think
does.
is really, really cool. I'm not sure where it's going to be headed in the future. I might still have a little bit of it that may have exploded unless it hasn't. Let's have a look. Oh, Revolut. Oh, Revolut. Yeah, of course I know Revolut. Yep.
Damn, it raised 205 mil back in the 2017 ICO boom. I mean, it sounds.
It's a decentralized Google Drive.
Oh, that's sick. That's so cool.
It's an awesome project. I think
that's cool.
I think it's really, really cool.
And we need something like that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Filecoin, wow. I don't know much about it. Like if I'm not really interested in a project, I don't do much research on just general, like all the coins in the top 200. But yeah, that's a fascinating project, and I think it does.
It's one of those cool projects that it's hard to hold because you're not really sure about the outlook on it, right?
Like, how do you value something like that?
It doesn't make any sense to value. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, just when
it's not really extremely needed, but it's kind of one of those things that would be nice to have.
And it makes sense, the concept behind it.
Yeah, exactly. It makes sense.
A good point. How do you put a monetary value on a project like that? So yeah.
40% Bitcoin. Let's just go down in order. 40% Bitcoin, 30% ETH, 10% DOT, 10% ADA, 10%. That is an amazing portfolio.
I love that.
I think you'll do extremely well this year. That was my portfolio around
a few months ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, November or December last year.
Yeah.
I had my Link, ADA, and DOT all go up to like 20% each or something, and snuff out the rest.
For a bit of context, Grant was preaching to me at the end of last year to load it into Polkadot, to load into Cardano, and to load into Chainlink. And this was back when Polkadot was like $4.
Super cheap.
Like Chainlink was a few. What was it, like $9 something?
Yeah, I think it was 11.
11, like.
Yeah.
And I was such a Bitcoin maximalist, like obviously done well just being in Bitcoin and Ethereum, but like those coins have seen insane gains. So have slowly been allocating into more of the altcoins as well, just to catch some of the run-ups. But core positions in Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yep. Revolut is I think it'll do really well free Quensive, that's how I say your name. That's a really smart portfolio, and I think you're gonna
really like
well.
it.
I really hope you do well.
Crispy, appreciate it.
Revolut is a bank. They have an amazing platform, and you can have a card with 0 fees per month. I've never had a bank that had fees anyway.
Interesting. It's like it's utilizing the travel aspect for Revolut. Right. So when you travel and you're exchanging a lot of things, I assume it's solving that issue, which is another, like, there's so many things that this is why blockchain is so huge. There's so many use cases for it, and a lot of these projects working on different things, and that's just one of them that is needed and does solve a real world problem. So yeah.
A lot of the banks do that already, like ING and a lot of the smaller banks. Revolut, I think, Revolut is one of the smaller.
But a decentralized version of it would be. Is
Revolut
would
decentralized?
Be
no, they're not.
They're not.
No,
oh, okay.
No way. I don't think they're in the crypto. Just quickly Google it. Quickly Google it.
Like that.
Yep.
Oh, it's a British company. Okay.
Yeah, they're not crypto. They're an actual bank. They're like ING.
Okay. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Cool.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, Revolut. Assuming if they are like ING, really good. Please check Bitcoin. Gold just went up.
Bitcoin rising again. Damn. Yeah, nice. I think we're gonna see 52K, and I think it's nearly midnight. It's heading towards midnight where we are in Sydney, Australia. I think we wake up to a very nice Bitcoin price. I think we are in over 52K. I reckon we wrap up.
Yep.
Wrap up a bit.
Any final questions?
Yeah, any final questions or anything you guys want us to touch on just before we bounce out of here? We've just got to make a few videos for tomorrow, but we'll definitely be back on during the week. Like seeing some awesome price action. We'll cover some more Ethereum news, some more altcoin news, and some more Bitcoin news later in the week.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be doing altcoin streams this week because we're going to see, I think, a lot about.
We're going to see things rip to the upside, 100%.
I honestly can't see Bitcoin sprinting up to 55K in the short term. I think it's going to really consolidate for a while.
I reckon
it's broken this trend of high lows, and I think we're going to see a lot more consolidation over the next few days.
The reason I'm bullish on Bitcoin and up to 55k, which is my prediction over the next 2 weeks, is
definitely 2 weeks. Yeah.
2 weeks. It's just the momentum behind it, and like 50k is such a big barrier. I don't think we consolidate so close to it. I think we see a bit of rise upwards. I think when people are seeing that we're sitting comfortably above 50k, they'll be more comfortable at investing at that price.
Thoughts about Bondly? I know nothing about Bondly. I googled it when you put the message in earlier, and I was going to try to talk about it. Then we got a bit
ranked 353. Yeah. If things are out of the top like 200, generally we wouldn't have even touched on it. We'll do some research on it, and for next stream we'll come back with it, and we'll look
scroll
hard
down
into
just
it.
a little bit. Let's see if we okay, yeah, it doesn't even have its thing. It's on Uniswap. Oh yeah, okay, so it's on all the dexes. That's pretty cool. No worries, guys. Make sure to subscribe to Jamie. Make sure to subscribe to my channel in the description.
Yeah, thanks guys so much for the support on the streams and the videos lately. It's been great. We've ripped up from like under 2k subscribers to pushing 4k now. If you guys want to subscribe to ShizoCrypto, is he first in the description. Let's get him to 1k subscribers. Thanks for coming along, Mohammed, Sean. It's always great to have you. Victor, awesome. D-Wave, we'll do some research on Bondly and we'll get back to you on the next stream. We try to stream every day, but about 5 streams per week. We'll probably be back tomorrow or the next day around this time. We run a small business and we generally stream when we can, when we're not running the small business.
Yep. Thanks, Victor, again. Thank you, Frequency.
Thank you,
Sean.
You have a great portfolio. Thanks for coming. To the moon, then to Mars with Elon Musk, 100%. Let's do it. Such a good time to be in cryptocurrencies and just see all of this unfolding. Everyone's in profit right now. Everyone's made money, and it's great.
Look at that.
The camera's a bit dark. We didn't turn our lights on.
Thanks, Chris B. Alrighty.
Thanks, Chris B. Awesome. Thanks, everyone, for coming out. We'll catch you guys for the next one.
See you guys.
Actually, we'll just vibe for like 20 seconds.
You guys vibing yet?
Yeah, you guys vibing with us?
Once we get one yes, we'll stop vibing.
If you guys are still here, you are watching this, let us know if you want to see we want to do a bench 100 kilos or 225 pounds for every time Bitcoin breaks 50k or something like that.
Just some gym stream or something?
Yeah, we want to do a gym stream while we're watching charts, because we think that'd be funny.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something you guys want to see, but
it might just flop and be everyone be like, what are these guys doing?
What are you guys doing?